Hello, beautiful hero. I am so excited for you to be here today because if you are watching this video, it means that you are wanting to discover more about what human design is and, more importantly, what can human design do for you. So human design is a beautiful modality that combines astrology, the I Ching, the Kabbalah system, as well as the chakra system to help you understand yourself at a very, very deep level. And essentially, how you find out what your chart properties look like is you will go to Jovian Arc, Genozoe's websites, Genetic Matrix, mybodygraph.com. I'll put all the links below this video so that you can get to understand who you are at an energetic level. So what does that mean? Well, human design is basically like our instruction manual. And I always like to compare it to the process of buying a new electronic gadget. So let's just say, for example, you have recently purchased an iPad and you want to set it up and it's got all these fancy features. Now, you may just choose to figure it out yourself, which is completely okay. Or you may choose to read the instruction manuals and find all those little hidden gems and, use the instruction manual as a catalyst to understand how your iPad works at a deeper level and faster. That's essentially what human design is. Human design is essentially your instruction manual to how your soul operates in this lifetime. Now, human design studies and the philosophy around human design says that we are a soul that has chosen to incarnate this time to have this human experience, and they are energetic properties that make you unique. Now, there are over 3 billion different combinations of charts out there. So you really are unique. You are 1 in 3 billion. And even if you do come across somebody with an identical chart to you, chances are through nature versus nurture, you will have had different experiences. You will have had different, you know, belief systems bestowed upon you, and that's again what makes you even more unique. So we really are all very, very individual, and it really helps ourselves understand ourselves at that individual level. Now I'm going to talk about the 3 key components to start understanding when you do find out what your human design type is, and from that you'll start to understand what it means to live in what's called energetic correctness with your design type. Now, there are 5 different aura types or energy types, and that is the first thing you really need to know. That is the first thing you want to know, because from that comes so many different other things. So they are manifestors, generators, manifesting generators, projectors, and reflectors. So those are the 5 different energy types. Now, each of those 5 have a different strategy, and you've also then got a different theme versus not self-theme. And essentially what I always like to say to people is that no matter if you do know about human design, no matter if you don't know about human design, there's always a simple equation that you can go back to. And that simple equation is, does this make me feel light and expanded, or does this make me feel dark and heavy? And that goes for everything in your life. Does this experience make me feel light and expanded? Does this person make me feel light and expanded? Does this food make me feel light and expanded? Or does it make me feel dark and heavy? And just by asking yourself that simple question, you will get back into what is called energetic correctness. Now, the whole concept or the whole principle for human design is that it shows you how you can embody the highest versions of yourself, and where you may have some tripwires, where you may have some shadow elements that come up. And we all start in the shadow of a lot of our elements. We all start in the lowest expression, and through experiences, we start to get back into alignment with our soul's essence. Now, when we get back into alignment and true alignment with our soul's essence, things like abundance flow to us. We activate our natural healthy blueprint that we all have within us, and health becomes easier. We remove blocks and experiences become more expansive, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful process to undergo. So once you understand your energy type, you will know your self-theme and your not self-theme. So I'll quickly give you a rundown on that. But essentially, we've got manifestors. Now, manifestors are the cutting edge of our society. They make up about 9% of our population, and they have like very amazing ideas. They may not necessarily have the life force energy to always follow through on their ideas, but they will really be able to say, we need to go from A to B. They come up with new ideas. They are here to inform and initiate. And they really are amazing at doing that. They work really, 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 really quickly. So sometimes I myself am a 3-5 emotional generator, and we battle to keep up with manifestors because they are so fast moving. So yeah, manifestors, you will know if you are living in your self theme when you feel really peaceful. You will know when you are moving away from yourself when you feel really angry. Generators and many gens, because many gens are a hybrid of manifestors and generators, but generators, you are here to respond to things. And a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions as to what that means, but we're really here to be so excited, so delighted, and inspired by what we're doing. And we need to respond to things around us in our environment to what feels really good for us. So when we are living in our theme, we feel satisfied. And when we are living out of our theme and we're maybe living in the shadowy aspects of ourselves, we feel frustrated. And the same happens for a Mani-Gen, but a Mani-Gen may also feel anger or peace. But a Mani-Gen strategy is also to wait to respond. And it's all about responding to things around us. Does this feel good? Yeah, it does. Or does this maybe not feel good? Yeah, no, I think I should leave that. So it's just about responding to the things that are around us. We then have projectors, and just backtracking to manifesting generators and generators are make up about 35% of our population. Mani-Gens about 30% of our population. So between Mani-Gens and generators, we make up about 70 to 75% of the population. So most people will fall into that bracket. We then have projectors. Now, projectors make up about 20% of our population, and projectors really are able to see things from a very different perspective. They have a very deep, penetrating energy. So if you are ever around a projector, you will feel that they can see almost into your soul. And projectors are amazing at seeing how systems work. They are amazing at making things work really quickly. And I'll use an analogy in a bit to help you understand how all the different types work really well together. But projectors are here to wait for the invitation. Now, waiting for the invitation frustrates a lot of projectors. And when a projector is impatient, they actually push those invitations away from them further, and then they live in their not self theme, which is bitterness. So a projector will either feel really successful or bitter, and the key is to wait for their invitation. And that can go into a lot of different details, but that's just the basics of it for now. And then we finally have our reflectors, which make up about 1% of the population. So they are super, super rare. I have come across 4 whilst on my journey of understanding and becoming certified in human design, and they are very, very unique. And a reflector is all about taking in the energy from the world around them and reflecting it back to society. And human design works a lot on tribal times as well, and like the understanding of tribal times. So if you were in a tribe, you would have a reflector that would reflect back the health of the tribe. So if that reflector felt really sickly, you'd probably find that your entire community felt really poorly. If that reflector was feeling healthy and wealthy and thriving in life, you'd probably find that the rest of the community was thriving. So your reflectors are very important in life to understand what the collective is currently going through. So let's look at how all of these types work together and why we need each of the types. And I myself, when I found out I was a generator, I was like, oh man, like I'm just such a common type, like, oh. But again, guys, understanding your energy type is like 5% of understanding your human design profile, but it is the first key element to understanding so much more into who you are. And the further and deeper you go into human design, I've come to love the fact that I'm a generator. I've come to love my emotional authority. I've come to love all of my gates that sometimes gave me grievances in the past, but now I understand them. And just by having that deeper understanding of myself, I can really understand my energy, how I operate in certain situations, and it's given me a permission slip to be exactly who I am. So let's go into how every type works with each other. So starting with manifestors. Manifestors will be the drivers of society. They are the ones that are saying, let's go from destination A to destination B. And they then need something to get there. So the generators and many-gens are the cars in this society. Generators and many-gens will switch on their engines at the same time, and many-gens will maybe take a couple of wrong detours, and they'll be super fast, speeding along. Generators will plod along, and eventually you will get to the same destination at the same time. But you are the workforce. Now, being the workforce of society does not mean that you are a worker bee, that you have to exhaust yourself. Rest is still really important, but you have something really special, which is sacral energy. And that is defined in your charts, which makes you a generator or a many-gen. And having access to that energy means that you have consistent access to life force energy, which makes us able to do a huge amount of work. But again, it needs to be work that we're delighted inside and excited by. Otherwise, we feel really, really frustrated. So we are the cars of the society. We then move into our projectors, and the projectors are the traffic helicopters that are seeing everything from above, and they're like, oh my gosh, if that person would just take a right there, they would bypass those traffic lights that are out, they would bypass that accident over there, and they'd get there a lot quicker. But often we're not really interested in hearing that information, so we ignore the projectors. But we do need projectors in our society to really help us have better systems in place to help us do things faster. And then we finally have the reflector, which is the drone above the entire scene happening. And they are literally recording everything. And then we get to watch it back on the news later. So that is how we all operate in society, why every type is so important and unique in their own right. And I honestly love every chart I ever come across. It gets me so excited because every chart is so different and every chart is just so beautiful in its uniqueness. So I wanted to quickly talk to you about how this is helping me right now and why you are probably watching this video. And for me, I have taken human design to start with and taken a very deep dive into how it can help us with regards to our health. Now, if you are somebody that has battled with your health and you find that everything that you've ever tried doesn't work for you, then this might be the key thing that you have been missing. I myself have a very unique digestive system, which is called a heart determination. And things that are conventionally healthy for people are not healthy for me. So a salad does not operate well for my digestive system. A beautiful meal with fresh, wholesome, like vegetables that are uncooked will also not work for me. My food needs to be cooked. My food needs to be warm or hot. And just by understanding certain little things like this, understanding my energy type with my authority, layering it on top of certain gates and channels that I have. Don't worry, I know it might be a little bit of gibberish for you right now, but just by understanding that, I'm able to have a much healthier body. And just by implementing certain little things, I'm moving back into my health blueprint, and I've noticed such incredible changes. My energy is improving, my gut health has massively improved, and I haven't been implementing these strategies for very long. So if this is something that you are interested in, and if this is something that you want a deep dive into, I highly suggest clicking on the Mind Your Body sales page, because applications are now open. The doors are open for enrollment into Mind Your Body. And with your sign up to Mind Your Body, you get a detailed 15-page document that takes your entire human design chart and simplifies it so that you can understand it to help you operate in your unique blueprint of what it means to be healthy to you. So I hope to be seeing more of you in Mind Your Body. It is such a special, unique program. And just take a look through the page. If there are any questions, I'll address it either through an email or through our social media platforms. But I hope to be seeing and welcoming more of you beautiful souls into Mind Your Body very, very soon.